WNBA Finals. And so I'll leave it there. I mean, I'm just obviously disheartened. You know, I'm a human too. I have a family. I have 2 kids who are devastated by these comments. And so all I'll say is just, you know, it's obviously...
The sports world has just witnessed a collision, one that could leave permanent scars on the WNBA. What looked like a routine labor update has now exploded into a full-scale power struggle. Commissioner Kathy Engelbert has effectively declared that collective bargaining negotiations are finished. Not paused, not delayed, finished. And make no mistake, this is not just business. This is war. Official league statements talk about structural disagreements and long-term sustainability. But behind closed doors, insiders are telling a very different story. This collapse wasn't caused by spreadsheets or revenue projections. It was triggered by a single, stunning act of resistance from the one person the league cannot afford to lose, Caitlin Clark. For the first time, the WNBA's Golden Goose didn't play along. She didn't issue a press release. She didn't attack the league publicly. She simply refused. And that quiet refusal may have just shaken the league to its foundation. To understand why this moment matters so much, we need to go back nearly 18 months. Before Caitlin Clark ever played a WNBA game, before her arrival, the league existed in survival mode. Growth was slow. Revenue was modest. Expectations were limited. The 2020 collective bargaining agreement was written for a league fighting for relevance, not dominance. Players were told to be patient, be grateful. Incremental progress was framed as victory. Then Caitlin Clark arrived, and that entire mindset collapsed. Her presence didn't just increase ratings. It broke the WNBA's economic model. Ticket prices jumped by as much as 300% in cities she visited. Arenas sold out overnight. Television networks entered bidding wars that resulted in a historic media rights deal worth billions. The league went from scraping by to suddenly swimming in money. But here's the problem. The players, the women creating this explosion of value, were still locked into contracts that treated them like part-time workers. That disconnect created a pressure cooker inside the league. On one side, executives stood at podiums celebrating unprecedented growth. On the other, players like Clark, Angel Reese, and veterans like Breanna Stewart were being told there still wasn't enough money for basic upgrades, like full charter travel or fair revenue sharing. Even worse, under the current CBA, players wouldn't see a single dollar of that new media money until at least 2027. The hypocrisy became impossible to ignore. For a long time, frustration didn't have a face powerful enough to force change. The players' union was organized, but ownership still controlled the purse strings. What the players needed was leverage, real leverage. They needed someone who mattered more to the league's bottom line than the owners themselves. They needed Caitlin Clark. And the turning point didn't happen on the court. As the league scrambled to capitalize on its surge of new fans, executives approached their biggest stars with expanded marketing initiatives, campaigns, documentaries, promotional appearances. They wanted access to Clark, to sell the future of the WNBA through her image. But this time, they didn't get compliance. Sources say Clark, alongside a small group of elite players, refused to participate under the current terms. No public protest, no social media campaign, just a firm disengagement. It was a silent strike. By withholding her participation, Clark froze the league's ability to monetize its most valuable asset. She didn't attack the league, she starved it. The message was clear without ever being spoken aloud. You don't get Caitlin Clark's value unless you pay for it. That single act reportedly burned down the negotiation table. Commissioner Engelbert, known for her corporate background and calculated approach, suddenly found herself cornered. She couldn't force players to promote a league they felt was exploiting them. Ending negotiations wasn't administrative. It was defensive, a move designed to reclaim control and signal that the league wouldn't be pushed around by player power, even if that power belonged to the most popular athlete in America. But it's a dangerous bluff, because this fight isn't just about salaries. It's about the entire economic structure. In the NBA, players receive roughly a 50-50 split of basketball-related income. When the league makes more money, players automatically benefit. The WNBA doesn't work that way. Player revenue share only activates after the league clears extremely high financial thresholds, targets that were nearly unreachable before Clark arrived. Now that those targets are finally within reach, players are realizing something disturbing. The numbers can be manipulated, expenses can be inflated, share revenue can shrink, the goalposts can move, and the players are the ones left holding the bag. Clark understands the math. Why help generate hundreds of millions in new revenue if your salary remains capped? Why fuel a system that doesn't reward your value? And then there's the Unrivaled League. Launched by Breanna Stewart and Nafisa Collier, Unrivaled offers six-figure salaries and equity, something WNBA players have never had before. A real alternative. A plan B. If the WNBA locks players out, stars now have somewhere else to go. Clark reportedly has massive offers waiting. She no longer needs the WNBA for fame or financial security. That single fact flips the power dynamic entirely. Engelbert isn't negotiating with desperate players. She's negotiating with players who can walk away. The timing of the commissioner's announcement makes everything even more telling. It came immediately after the Players Association opted out of the CBA. That opt-out was expected. What wasn't expected was a league declaring talks over instead of committing to continued negotiations. That signals one thing. The players' demands were viewed as non-starters. Those demands likely include league-wide charter flights, major salary cap increases, stronger revenue sharing, and possibly retroactive compensation. Owners, many of whom operated at losses for years, likely panicked. Fans didn't. Public opinion has shifted dramatically. The old argument that the WNBA doesn't make money is dead. Media deals killed it. Sold-out arenas killed it. Jersey sales killed it. When fans hear negotiations are halted, they don't see responsibility. They see greed. Clark hasn't said a word publicly, and that's exactly why her strategy works. She isn't asking for special treatment. She isn't demanding a headline. She's simply disengaging and forcing the league to explain why its biggest star doesn't want to participate. The rumored bridge deal only deepened the divide. A temporary agreement would have delayed real reform until new media money arrived, buying owners time. Clark's refusal to support that delay likely killed negotiations entirely. By demanding a full solution now, players are forcing transparency today, not tomorrow. Then there's the charter flight saga. For years, players were told private travel was impossible. Then Clark arrived, and suddenly $25 million appeared. That moment shattered trust. It proved the money was always there. It just wasn't priority. So what happens next? If Engelbert holds the line, a 2026 lockout becomes very real. That would be catastrophic. Momentum would vanish. Networks would revolt. Sponsors would pull out. Engelbert is betting that financial pressure will break the union. But that bet may be wrong. Clark's stance is unified players across income levels. Stars want revenue share. Bench players want a livable floor. Rumors of a solidarity fund backed by top earners could neutralize ownership's biggest weapon, financial fear. And hovering over all of this is the court of public opinion, where Caitlin Clark holds enormous influence. This isn't just a labor dispute. It's a generational shift. Clark comes from the nil era. She knows her value. She rejects the gratitude narrative that defined women's sports for decades. She isn't asking the league to survive. She's demanding it operate like a major league. The WNBA is now at a crossroads. Adapt or expose itself. Because by ending negotiations, the league may believe it's protecting its business model. In reality, it may be proving a far more dangerous truth. Without Caitlin Clark, there may be no model at all.